Hey, thanks for joining me today. How to be the best at your job. Well, I'm going to share with you 8 incredible tips that will help you to become the best at your job that you possibly can be. As a business owner, these are the 8 things that I'm actually looking for in people in order to hire them. My name is Jason Hewlett. I'm a Hall of Fame keynote speaker, award-winning entertainer. Thanks for joining me. Let's dive in. Number 1, do what you are hired to do. In other words, I hired you because of your signature moves. And that's most likely why you got your job in the first place. And so to be the best at your job, in order to get the promotion or to just stick around and be valuable, do what you are hired to do. I have a guy that I hired years ago. His name is Chris. He runs my website. He is absolutely amazing. He has been a secret weapon to me to such a degree, and I shared him with a couple of people years ago, and they still use him too. In fact, we don't tell anyone else about him anymore because he's so valuable to us. But all I'm saying is that his signature moves are that he is so prompt. He is so accessible. He is communicative. He responds so fast. He is so good at what he does. He is invaluable to my business. But I hired him to do one job and he does it so well I can never get rid of him. That's my first point for you. Number 2 is to keep your promise. Now that's just to do what you say you're going to do. And that may sound like a really simple thing, but I'm telling you, if you're the kind of employee that wants to be the best at what you do, or even if you're not an employee, you're a business owner, being the person that keeps a promise is really somebody that everybody wants to work with. Now, there are times when you'll work with somebody who you realize isn't keeping the promise. And that's a really frustrating place to be in. In fact, I had a bunch of business partners a couple of years ago, and we had a couple of really big challenges where promises were broken, and I was like, man, this thing is over. And then there was a business partner that I can't let go of. His name is Josh. Josh is the ultimate in keeping a promise. In other words, if I say to him, hey, I need you to do something for me, he does it. It's that simple. If I say, hey, I need you to figure out how this works, he might say to me, I don't know how, but I'll figure it out. He keeps the promise. He always comes back with a solution. Those are his signature moves. That's what makes him uniquely who he is. I hired him for that reason, but he always keeps the promise. Number 3 is to over-deliver every chance you get. My assistant, her name is Heidi. Oh, Heidi is incredible. I don't even know how I did business before I found her, but she over-delivers every chance she gets. You see, she chases down the details of an event. She also handles all of the inquiries that come in for my speaking career. And so I'm so thankful for her because she over-delivers every chance she can. In other words, she could just do the event details and then send everything off to me so I can go do my gig. But she goes above and beyond. She texts me and makes sure I'm okay. I mean, it's a very almost motherly thing. But I'm telling you, she is so invaluable to me because she over-delivers, she keeps the promise, she lives her signature moves. She does what I hired her to do. Number 4, create solutions, not problems. I worked years ago with a guy named Bud. Bud is so amazing at creating solutions to the problems that we had. He did not make problems at all, ever. He just created solutions to anything that popped up. He is an expert in landing pages and in nurturing email lists and ClickFunnels and those sorts of things. I'm so thankful for Bud because he's just amazing at figuring out how to come up with a solution to a problem, and he never himself was a problem. So before I give you a couple more of these secrets as to how to be the best at your job, I hope that you'll also type into the comments, if you will, how you are being the best at your job. I'd love to read what you have to say, and I will respond to those comments if you would engage with me here. I appreciate it. Now let's go back to the points that you don't want to miss. Number 5 is be ready to help others succeed. Oh yeah. Have you ever hired a coach that you thought, well, I'm not sure if they like me that much or they really care? Well, when I've hired somebody to be a coach for me, I keep them around if I realize that they really want me to succeed and they're going to help me do whatever it takes. I had a physical nutritional coach, a physical trainer coach named Casey. Casey started a company called Boundless Body. I recommend you check it out. Casey's a genius. He's a wonderful guy. but he cared so much about me. Even when I wasn't paying him or coaching with him, because we would go in spurts through different times of the year, he'd be texting to find out how I was. He's so good at his job, and I'm so thankful for his help that he's given me this, this nice body. But here's the thing. Every single person that wants to help you succeed, you want on your team. I have another friend, his name is Dave Crenshaw. I've spoken about him in other videos on this channel because he's such a great leader and a coach. He's somebody who early in my career, he was coaching to help me put my business together. He's a business coach. He now does LinkedIn Learning and other trainings online. I recommend you look up Dave Crenshaw. Absolute genius. But here's a guy that wanted me to succeed and wanted to do anything to help me be the best at my job. And honestly, when we want someone to be the best at their job, that's how we become the best at ours. Want to be the best at your job? Think about number 6, signature moves. I talk about signature moves in my keynote speech and on so many videos across the web that maybe you'll find out more about this. But I talk about signature moves being that thing that only you can do, and you have your signature moves. I've already mentioned it in this video. When you deliver on your signature moves you're known for, then you're keeping the promise and you'll be the best at your job and the best that you can be. Let me tell you about my friend Kirk Weisler. Kirk Weisler is essentially signature moves man for initiative. Imagine that's your signature move. Everyone knows you for your initiative. Kirk Weisler is fascinating. Here's a guy that put together for himself, before he was a full-time keynote speaker, he put together a position at a company that he called a CMO. CMO, Chief Morale Officer. Shaking hands, congratulating people, telling them what they did well. He was just a cheerleader for everyone, a morale officer. I love that. Chief Morale Officer, CMO. Signature moves, they matter because you're known for something. The thing that you're known for is what you need to deliver. That's how you become the best of your job. Be like Kirk Weisler. Go check him out. He wrote a book called The Dog Poop Initiative. It is hilarious and it will change the way that you show up in your initiative. Number 7, care. Care about people. Well, here's my example on this one. Let me just go back to Heidi, my assistant. So about a year ago, I broke my leg in a real vicious way. Heidi was just so amazing. She took over everything because she knew I had been in surgery. I was now drugged up. I was laying in bed. Actually, the leg injury was so bad, I couldn't move my leg for 2 months. It was in a straight brace that was awful. Heidi cares. She took over. She handled everything for me. Things that I had handled before that she now handles because she started to handle it. I'm so thankful for her. In fact, I was laying in my bed, just laying there like nobody cares about me. And all of a sudden, guess what came in the door? A delivery from Heidi. A humongous fruit basket. And I'm not just talking about apples and oranges. I'm talking about big old spears of sticks with like strawberries and pineapples and kiwis, and that shows that she cares. She sent me something nice. That's a big deal. So when she had surgery on her leg, I sent her the same thing, but I covered it in chocolate. Now, when we show that we care, it's not just sending gifts, it's also in the text and taking over when somebody needs your help and filling in the gaps. I'm so grateful for the care of somebody like Heidi. So before I give you the final top secret as to how you can be the best at your job, well, I want you to put in the comments, if you will, somebody's signature moves that have impacted you. That would be so cool to find out. Celebrate somebody who's done something for you, who's been a leader in your life, who's made a difference. Their signature moves, they may not even know are their signature moves. So you typing it in and saying, this person helped me this way, this is their signature moves, would be so awesome. Are you ready for the final one? Let's go. Number 8, to be the best at your job, be kind, be attentive. Now, you might think, well, that's just like care. It's a little different. Care is nurturing and so forth. Being kind is really quite interesting, and being attentive. I have a guy named Brandon that I've worked with, and he's just so wonderful. He's helped me with video work, marketing materials, coming up with some solutions for things I never have created before. Brandon is kind. He is the perfect guy to have come with me on an event because he'll sit there with me, he'll listen to my frustration, and then he'll go solve the problem. I love that. Be kind. Be attentive. Brandon would look around and figure out what was bad about what was happening at an event for me, and he would be attentive. He'd go get it fixed. He is somebody that you want to have around. So if you want to be the best, be kind and be attentive. So let me just give you one more last piece of advice, and this is actually an interesting one to end with, because I want you to think about the quickest way that you can lose your job. You want to know what it is? Be unkind. Honestly, if you have all the signature moves in the world, if you're amazing at everything you do, if you keep the promise, if you do all of these great things and you're not kind, no one wants you around. And so I hope that you'll take to heart the fact that just by being kind can actually make you the best at your job. And I also want you, if you would, put in the comments what I've missed, because I know that you're working to be the best at your job. Maybe you want to put in the comments what you have done to be the best at your job, and I admire you for doing that. Share your signature moves, and always keep the promise. Be kind. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Jason Hewlett.